dazzling new book. One that I highly recommend is The Apothecary. It is 1952, and 14-year-old Janie Scott and her parents have just moved from Hollywood to London. There, Janie meets the apothecary and his son Benjamin. When the apothecary is kidnapped, it is up to Jamie and Benjamin to go on a search for him. Little do they realize at the time the fantasy, the magic, the potions, the intrigue, the international spy ring they'll run up against. Will they be able to find Benjamin's father, or will time run out? Check out The Apothecary, the incredible book at your fall book fair.
How many of you recognize the name Nicholas Benedict? Well, if you've read any of the Mysterious Benedict Society books, you'll know that in those books he's an old man who, he has narcolepsy. He falls asleep without warning. Well, there's a great new book called The Extraordinary Education of Nicholas Benedict, where we meet young Nicholas. He's 9 years old, he's an orphan, and has just moved to a new orphanage. They have to get used to his falling asleep without warning. There's a bully there who's after him. But Nicholas, who we know is a very smart person, has a way to figure out how to deal with this bully and a mystery at the orphanage. Even if you've never read any of the Mysterious Benedict Society books, this is a great story about a young man who has incredible abilities. Check it out at your fall book fair.
Capture the Flag is a fast-paced mystery that involves a secret society, a stolen flag, and 3 kids that happen to meet up at the Washington, D.C. airport, which is snowed in. Anna thinks, if we're snowed in, perhaps the thief who stole the flag might be snowed in also. Let's see if we can find the culprit. Will Anna, Jose, and Henry be able to solve the heist of the flag, or will it be lost forever? Check out this wonderful mystery at your fall book fair.
Have your parents or one of your teachers ever said to you, "You are just remarkable"? Well, that's something that 10-year-old Jane Doe doesn't hear. It seems that everyone around her is remarkable, and she feels very ordinary. Her mother is a famous architect. Her father is an award-winning writer. Her brother is an amazing artist, and her younger sister is a math genius. They live in a town called Remarkable, and Jane is the only child in the town who doesn't go to the Remarkable School for the Gifted. She's the only student at the regular school until those mischievous Grimlet twins get expelled and join Jane at her school. Shortly after that, a pirate captain appears in the town, and mysteries begin to be uncovered. Mysteries that Jane, who thought she was only ordinary, may be the only person who can solve them. Want to read a great book about a girl who isn't unremarkable? Check this book out at your fall book fair.
Matt Rambeau's father is a computer genius, and he loves to order things that come in big packages on their doorstep. So when this package comes and shows up on Matt's doorstep, he thinks nothing of it until they open it up, and inside is a bionic robot. It's his new brother that they've ordered, Norman. Matt starts to make friends with Norman, and then some strange things start happening. People start showing up, and they're creepy and suspicious and asking questions, and they go off on a wild adventure. You should read about it in Brother from a Box.
How far would you go to get something you really wanted? Would you eat 87 packets of ketchup? Dye your hair green? If you were a boy, would you wear a tutu to school? Perhaps run your underwear up the flagpole. Well, in Double Dog Dare, Kansas and Francine get into a dare war to see who wins the dare war to become the news anchor. What's going to happen? Will they be so vindictive that the principal shuts the whole media club down? Well, if you like a great story, lots of fun twists and turns, you will really enjoy Double Dog Dare.
In the book Small as an Elephant, 11-year-old Jack has a problem. He and his mother have traveled from Boston to Acadia National Park in Maine for a camping trip. Jack loves elephants. He's obsessed with them. And he asked his mom if they can make a side trip to see Lydia, the only live elephant in the state of Maine. Jack's mother seems rather irritated at this request. And the next morning, when Jack wakes up at the campground, his mother and the car are missing. Jack waits for several hours. She doesn't come back. He calls her cell phone, but no one answers. Jack is afraid that if someone discovers his mother is gone, he will have to go and stay either in a foster home or with a grandmother that his mother says is quite mean. He only has a sleeping bag, his clothes, and about $15. What would you do in this kind of situation? If you want to read an incredible story about a very strong young man, please check out Small as an Elephant.
Egbert Masterson, better known as Egg, is a 13-year-old boy who's smart and has a nose for adventure. Well, adventure isn't hard to find when you live on Dead Weather Island, an island that's full of pirates. Well, Egg's latest adventure happens when his dad disappears, and then Egg is marked for death. If you want to find out what happened, you'll have to read Dead Weather and Sunrise.
Famed author Jerry Spinelli has written another great book called Jake and Lily, one I'm sure you'll love. Jake and Lily are twins. I bet there are a lot of twins out there, and we know twins have very special languages and communications. Jake and Lily are just like that. They even mysteriously walk to the train station on their birthdays. Everything is great with them until they turn 11. At that time, Jake starts becoming, I guess you would say, pulls away and wants to become friends more with the guys and starts running with a pack of boys when he falls under the influence of a bully and is rather unkind to Lily. Lily does not know what to do. Is she losing her very best friend? Well, if you want to read a great story, a story of twins and how they have to work out their issues, check out Jake and Lily.
10-year-old Cass has always thought her mom had the most wonderful job in the world. Her mom is a disaster rescue volunteer, and she travels all over the United States to help people who are the victims of hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, any kind of natural disaster. In the book Sway, Cass is waiting for her mom to come home after being gone for quite a while to help the victims of a disaster. When Mom gets home, though, she tells Cass that she's decided to go to Alabama and start a new life, and Cass is left with her dad. It's the beginning of summer, and her dad tells her that they're going to take their old RV and travel around the South. Cass is somewhat confused when her father begins to put on shows in local towns. He tells people that he is MC McLean and he can help them bring sway to their life. Sway is a magical force that gives you hope and joy. And the way that he does that is to match people with slivers of soap that belong to famous people. How can a piece of soap that was once used by Abraham Lincoln or Clara Barton help a person to find their sway? Well, Cass wishes she could find hers. And this is the incredible story of her search for hope and a great new life. Check out Sway at your fall book fair.
Red Zone is a book about the childhood of NFL superstars Tiki and Rondé Barber. Not only were they both NFL superstars, but they were brothers. Red Zone tells the story of their 9th grade year where they overcame many challenges playing football. Check it out at your book fair.
Calling all fantasy lovers, I have the book for you. Wings of Fire, The Dragonette Prophecy is a great book at your fall book fair. 5 dragonettes are born. They're under the care of rebel dragons. They are the key to the prophecy to end the war raging among the tribes of dragons. But will they be able to survive, or will they be uncovered and murdered so that war continues to rage? Well, if you like fantasy, you definitely want to check out this great new fantasy series, Wings of Fire, The Dragonettes.
Boys and girls, Winter Pony is the amazing story of Robert Scott's expedition to reach the South Pole. He was an Englishman who wanted to be the first man to reach the South Pole. He decided, along with his team members, to take 20 horses and some dogs with them. They would help carry the heavy equipment and food, but another group, a Norwegian, Roald Amundsen, was also trying to reach the South Pole. One special pony named James Pig by the expedition members is the storyteller in this book. There's great cold, shortage of food, and other dangerous conditions that we hear about in Winter Pony. If you've loved classics such as Black Beauty, check out this incredible story of survival.
Do you like ghost stories or scary stories? Well, then you need to check out James Preller's Scary Tales. His 2 new books, Home Sweet Horror and I Scream You Scream, are full of scary, spine-tingling adventures.
So Zoe is a great new series at your fall book fair. This is a story about a girl named Zoe Weber who's in middle school, and their middle school wears uniforms. She gets the great news over the summertime that the new headmistress has said no uniforms. Well, Zoe has a quirky style. She loves to sew and make her own fashions. She even has a fashion blog. But will her quirky style make her a misfit at school? Well, check out Ready to Sew and On Pins and Needles. It's a great series.
Hey guys, I've got a great new series just for you. The Brother Band Chronicles by John Flanagan. He's the author who wrote the Ranger's Apprentice books. The Brother Band Chronicles is a great series about a boy named Hal Mickelson. Hal lives in the northern land of Scandia. It's much like Viking times, and he's getting ready to begin his brother band training. You see, he wants to be a crew member on one of the Scandian ships, and he and other boys his age have to learn navigation, weaponry, and battle strategies. Turns out Hal is a bit of a misfit. You see, his father was a Scandian warrior, but his mother was not from Scandia, so he's sneered at and looked down upon. He's smarter than he is strong, and in Scandia it seems like the big, strong guys get all the respect. Hal is named the captain of the brother band team, the Herons. 8 boys who all have something that isn't quite up to par. The Wolves and the Sharks, those teams are made up of the strong Scandian guys. But when pirates attack the town and steal the town's most important treasure, it may be Hal and the Herons who are able to retrieve it. An incredible series full of adventure. Check out the Brother Band Chronicles.
Did you know that if your tongue was as long as a frog's, it could go all the way down to your belly button? Or that babies have taste buds in their cheeks? Well, you can read all about that and 298 other crazy facts at National Geographic Kids' Weird But True 5.
Born into a close-knit Chicago family, Michelle Robinson was a star student who graduated from Princeton and Harvard Law. In 1992, she married aspiring young attorney Barack Obama. And the rest, as they say, is history. While Barack Obama might be the commander-in-chief, Michelle Obama is the self-proclaimed mom-in-chief. If you want to know cool things about her childhood and what it's like to be the First Lady of the United States, read Who is Michelle Obama?
Boys and girls, I had the trip of a lifetime recently. I went to London and saw the Tower of London. I saw things like the rack where prisoners were stretched to get them to tell their truths to the king. If you love creepy castles, dark dungeons, and powerful palaces, check out the book Haunted Histories at your book fair. It's a great non-fiction tour of many of the world's dark and scariest places. You'll love it.
Thanks for joining us as we talked about the great books that are going to be at your fall book fair. Hope you get ready for some doggone good books.